Good morning, everyone. Day 2 of calendar and number talk. Now, these videos are mostly number talk, being mathematicians, and learning the many ways to show and represent numbers. So on the top of your paper today, it's always important that we write what day it is. Now, the first way you know how to write is to spell it out. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. So let's spell it out on the top of our papers first. March, R, 31st, 31, and the year 2020. My second way to show today's date is by writing the month in numbers by saying 3, because March is the third month, 31, 2020. Writing the date on your paper is just a great way to keep track of your work, to see when you were able to complete it, and for when you send it to me, I know what day you're talking about. Now, today's the second day of calendar number talk, so we must be working with the number 2 today. So in the middle of your paper, you know what to do. Write the number 2 and circle it. So we know what number we're working with today. Now the first step we're always going to do is show this number in a 10 frame. So on your paper right now, draw a 10 frame and fill it in. Show me how many spaces you need to fill in a 10 frame to show 2. I've got my frame. It's got 10 spaces, and I'm a smart person, so I know I'm not going to fill every one of those. I'm only going to fill 2. So in your 10 frame, show me 2. 1, 2. The second way I can show the number 2 is in a tens and ones chart. This is where you draw your 2 boxes. You write tens, tens, and ones. Now, with the number 2, am I going to have any tens at all? Are there any groups of 10 that I can use to put here? The answer is no, of course not. So I could put a 0 in the tens because there are no tens. But how many ones are there? Y'all know this. We've been doing this forever. Let's put 2 in the ones place because there are 2 ones. Now I've shown the number 2 in 3 different ways, but I haven't shown how to write it yet. 2 is a tricky word because there are so many different ways we can spell it, but each one has a different meaning. So if you didn't know which way to spell 2 first, you could always write them out, cross out the ones that look wrong, and circle the one that you know is right. I can write 2 as T-O, but that means I'm going to the store. I'm going somewhere, T-O, so that's not right. I also remember 2 as T-O-O. That doesn't look right either. That means also. T-O-O means also. So that's not right. But I do remember that 2 is funny because it's the 2 that has a W in it. You know how I feel about the letter W. T-W-O. I had 3 ways I could have spelled 2, but I finally came to the right one. T-W-O. Now, we aren't done just yet. There are 2 more steps we need to take before we get to the Get Crazy section, where you get to come up with as many problems that equal 2 as you possibly can. The first thing we need to do is show the number 2 in tallies. Well, tallies we said yesterday are just like showing ones. So I can say 1, 2. I have 2 tallies. And on this side, we're going to do the add 'em up section. How many problems can we write that equal 2? Well, I know from yesterday that I can do 2 plus 0 equals 2. And I want to write this same problem, but different, because they both equal 2. So I can flip it around and say, what? 0 plus 2 equals 2. Now there's one more way that I know I can add to equal 2. Do you know what it is? I'm going to put blank plus blank equals 2. Now this is an easy one, y'all. You know exactly what it is. You have 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now I know this seems silly and too easy, and you're thinking I'm crazy making you work with the number 2, but have you ever seen how many ways that you can show the number 2? No, you haven't. So this is the perfect opportunity to see simple numbers in a big way. Now the fun part comes. Draw a line underneath your hard work, and I want you to show me the Get Crazy section, how many problems you can make that equal 2. I'll give you 2, and then you can figure out the rest. I know that 5 take away 3 equals 2, and I can prove that because if I draw 5 circles and I take away 3, I have 2 left. Another problem I know is that if I have 10 and I take away 8, that also equals 2. I can prove that as well. If I draw 10 circles, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I take away 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I have 2 left. So on your paper, for the rest of this time, I want you to draw some pictures and see how many problems you can come up with that equal 2. Take a picture, save it, and send it to me so I can see all of your hard work with this most wonderful number 2. Get to work. Great job today, mathematicians.